It is not now those scientists, those politicians, those intellectuals who have only the knowledge of the physical world or of the learning which deals with only material objective who can guide him, but those who have also the knowledge of his inner being. These people are very rare and scarce at present. What we need are mystics, or in other words, people who have had the experience which Christ or Buddha or Shankaracharya or Socrates underwent, coupled with full knowledge of temporal things who can guide the race in future.
You have said that evolution is planned, and that once the idea of planned evolution becomes known, it could unite the creationists and the orthodox evolutionists.
At the present moment too, all biologists are not agreed upon the method by which evolution worked. There are many who believe that evolution is planned and did not depend only on natural selection and the survival of the fittest, as is held by Darwin. The fossil record does not support the idea that one species slowly developed into another species. There are no intermediary stages. Biologists like Mayer now say that the reason for lack of this evidence is because evolution has been rapid at times, and the changes occurred so rapidly that no fossil record of the intermediary species is available. This is also something which is new to the general concept of evolution. According to the Darwinian hypothesis, astronomical spans of time were needed for primary forms to develop into more complex forms. And now another factor is being introduced, that where there was a diversification of one species into another, the changes took place very rapidly. So we see that evolutionists are trying to give arguments in support of this thesis that evolution occurred by random occasion and by natural selection. On the contrary, the evidence provided by science, even in the case of DNA and RNA, is that the combinations that have occurred are so complex that we cannot evoke mere chance to account for them. In some cases, there are such complexities in these compounds that the odds are 1 against billions that these combinations could occur of themselves. There are many, many loopholes in the theory of evolution. Let us take the case of the human brain. There was no urgency, no necessity from the survival point of view for the ape to be transformed into a human being. The difference between a higher animal and a human being from the point of view of brain and mind is so great and so marked that mere chance cannot be held to account for it. There must be other factors which are not being discussed by biologists in their treatises on the development of the intellect. Neither Darwin nor any of his successors, nor modern biologists like Carl Sagan have been able to account for the development of the intellect. It is a mystery, as great now as it was in the past. There is no reason whatsoever why the anthropoids, or a section of them, could suddenly develop something like intelligence and thought as we see in the human species. There is no explanation for it whatsoever from the side of the biologists. They attribute it again to random mutations working through uncomputable spans of time. Why should we not accept a more rational view that evolution is planned? What hinders us from accepting what has been held all along, that there is an intelligence operating behind the universe? Human intelligence is not perceptible by any means whatsoever. We cannot weigh our mind, we cannot taste our mind, we cannot touch our mind, we cannot hear our mind. It is something which no instrument can detect. Why do not we concede that intelligence, even in a more subtle and rarer form, can exist all over the universe? Why should we ascribe the laws of nature only to blind matter? We surely could not have any laws, as laws and insentience are incompatible. The very fact that matter is governed by laws indicates intelligence. According to the Indian tradition, even matter is a manifestation of intelligence. There is a downward descent from intelligence towards matter, and then again an ascent from matter in the form of plants, then animals, and then man towards the highest intelligence possible in the universe.